If you think women are addicted to your abs, your car, or your income, you're wasting your time. She doesn't want proof of your value. She wants to feel your value. And that doesn't come from showing off. It comes from showing up solid. Every time you try to impress her, you tell her you need her. And nothing kills attraction faster than need. She doesn't chase flash. She chases force. The kind of silent confidence that makes her question herself. That's what stays in her head. And most men don't learn that until it's too late. They told you to level up. Get the money, get the car, get the abs. Then the women will come. But deep down, you know that isn't true. You've done the work. You've built the life. You've played the game. And still, she looks past you like you were never there. You put in the hours. You reshaped your body. You dressed better. You spoke better. And yet, she looks at you like you're furniture in the background. She smiles. She talks. She flirts. But she never stays. Because women aren't addicted to what they see. They're addicted to what they feel. And what she feels isn't on your wrist, or your shoes, or your bank account. It's in your energy, your presence, your stillness under pressure. Every time you try to show her the man you've become, she senses the part of you that's still waiting to be chosen. And that's what makes her forget you. Not your worth, not your looks, but your energy rooted in need. You've seen him, the guy who's average at best, doesn't lift, doesn't dress well, doesn't care. But somehow, women are magnetized to him. They laugh around him, share secrets, sleep with him fast, obsess. They remember him. They talk about him with their friends. They scroll through his old messages at night. And you're left wondering, how? You're stronger, smarter, more successful. You've got the edge, the looks, the ambition. But he has something you don't. He never tries to win her. He doesn't try to impress. He doesn't overthink his words. He doesn't shapeshift for her attention. And because he doesn't try, she feels pulled. Because he doesn't need her validation, she gives it. Ask yourself this: how many times have you tried harder, only to be ignored more? How many times have you adjusted, only to feel like less of yourself? He does less and gets more. Not because of luck, but because of energy. His energy says, take it or leave it. Yours might say, please choose me. And that single difference changes everything. This is the part no one teaches. A woman doesn't chase your success. She chases your energy. She doesn't chase the man who flaunts his wins. She chases the one who doesn't flinch when she tests him. And energy can't be faked. You can't buy it, wear it, or talk your way into it. It's not in your clothes or your paycheck or your posture photo. It's in how you hold your frame when the world tugs on it. She feels it when you walk into a room, when you look her in the eyes, when you don't flinch under pressure, when you don't chase when she pulls back. Every time you stay calm while others react, she feels it. Every time you speak last and carry the room, she notices. Every time you lean back instead of forward, she leans in. It's not about making her feel impressed. It's about making her feel uncertain, not chaotic, not unsafe, but unpredictably anchored. Because certainty is comfort, but uncertainty is obsession. Every time you try to win her, you lose her. Not because you're not good enough, but because the act of trying proves you believe you aren't. The moment you shift your behavior to impress her, she senses it and emotionally checks out. The smallest changes give you away. The sudden pause before a text, the extra word in a compliment, the subtle way you look for her reaction instead of owning your space. Women are addicted to men who don't need their approval, not in words, in energy, in how they stand, in how they respond, in how they don't respond. If your tone, your posture, your eye contact is rooted in the need to be accepted, she'll never feel that pull. Because when she senses your need to be liked, she stops wondering if she likes you. And when there's no mystery, there's no magnetism. So remember, every time you perform, you lose presence. Every time you prove, you give up power. And every time you chase, you teach her to run. Most men try to be safe. They offer her stability, comfort, reassurance. They think if they're always there, always kind, always agreeable, she'll stay. But that doesn't addict her. That pacifies her. What addicts her is the emotional contrast. Safety, wrapped in unpredictability. Security, edged with mystery. She wants to feel like she could lose you, that you could walk away, that she's not in control, that you're not afraid to disappear. She doesn't want to dominate you emotionally. She wants to feel your presence, but never possess it. Because when a man becomes predictable, he becomes forgettable. When he becomes soft ground, she stops feeling the edge. It's not manipulation, it's polarity. And polarity is where the obsession begins. So ask yourself, are you giving her security at the cost of your edge? Are you showing up fully or just trying to keep the peace? When you remove the unknown, you remove the desire. When you remove the tension, you remove the craving. Balance doesn't mean bland. She craves contrast, and contrast is where the fire lives. Most men ruin the game by doing too much. They text first, they explain, they open up too fast. They try to keep her interested. They overdeliver attention. They overexpose their emotions. They hand themselves over too quickly. And in doing so, they kill the very thing that keeps her hooked. Tension. Tension is the invisible thread that makes her think about you at 3 a.m. It's what keeps her replaying moments in her head, wondering what you meant. Mystery dies when you hand her the whole blueprint. Obsession dies when there's nothing left to figure out. If she knows your every move, your every thought, your every intention, she stops thinking about you altogether. You don't have to be cold, but you do have to stop trying to manage how she sees you. You have to stop offering your heart like it's a resume. Let her wonder. Let her chase. Let her feel that beautiful, maddening uncertainty. That wondering is the pull. That pull is the obsession, and that obsession only lives in the unknown. When you stop trying to be remembered, that's when she remembers you. You don't chase. You don't explain. You don't ask to be chosen. You walk away without warning, and your silence haunts her. Because she didn't get closure. She didn't get to figure you out. She didn't get to wrap the story up with a bow. And that loop never closes. She replays the conversations. She studies the silences. She wonders what she missed, what you were really thinking. Because a man who leaves without needing to explain is the man she never fully lets go of. That's how obsession is born, not from being perfect, but from being unresolved in her mind. Not from the man who gave her answers, but from the man who left her with questions. Once she starts chasing, most men panic. They get emotional. They get eager. They try to secure the connection. They misread her pursuit as a green light and rush to lock her in. They start texting more, sharing more, pleasing more. They offer reassurances. They soften their tone. They let fear drive the interaction. And just like that, the frame collapses. Because the moment she feels back in control, the addiction fades. She wants to chase. She wants to question. She wants to earn you. She wants to feel like she could still lose you at any moment. Never rob her of that process. Never steal away the very thing that keeps her emotionally invested. Ask yourself, how many times have you overcommitted too early? How many times have you said too much, too soon, just to feel safe? The man who doesn't panic keeps the power. The man who doesn't rush keeps the mystery. And mystery is what makes her stay up wondering if you're still thinking about her. That's the frame you must protect. Because once it breaks, everything does. This is the hardest truth. You must be willing to lose her in order to keep her. If you fold the moment, she pulls away. If you chase the second, she gets cold. if you try to soothe your insecurity with her attention. You've already lost, because she's not addicted to your lifestyle, your words, or your performance. She's addicted to your power. The power to stay grounded, the power to walk away, the power to not be controlled, the power to remain whole without her validation. She wants to feel like she's chosen by a man who doesn't need to be chosen. She wants to taste your presence, not consume it. And if you're willing to risk her leaving, you show her the one thing most men can't, that you are more loyal to your center than to her opinion. Master that, and she'll never forget you. Not because you begged her to remember, but because you became the one man who didn't break when she tested you.